Hello, I'm Doug McConnell, and we've got some great discoveries for you out here along the open road.
We'll take a mini wildlife safari on Midpen lands in search of the peninsula's striking, endangered, and lesser-known animals we seldom see. We'll travel along an historic trail rebuilt for the future, connecting Silicon Valley to Skyline Ridge. And we'll take stock of Measure AA at its 10th anniversary, looking at what Midpen has done so far and what they still plan to do. The web of life on the San Francisco Peninsula is a tightly woven and richly textured tapestry.
Seeing all of these animals, it reminds me of San Francisco. It's cosmopolitan, and so is this landscape. It's very diverse.
Even the misunderstood and least visible play an important role.
I often tell people if you don't like mosquitoes, you should love bats.
The competition is stiff in the natural world, and for every herbivore, there's a carnivore.
They eat things and they get eaten by things.
It's a landscape teeming with life, and most of it goes unseen. The peninsula is known for its sweeping views and shaded woodlands, but slithering, swimming, and flying across this landscape are a chorus of characters. Some familiar and some less so, but they're all important to the ecology of these protected Midpen lands. Today we're going on a mini Midpen safari in search of a few of its characters. We'll start at Midpen's La Honda Creek Open Space Preserve, in a part only open to the public through guided naturalist hikes. And I brought my camera in hopes of capturing some good shots of pond life. So Matt, we have a little group of pond, what do you call a group of pond turtles?
I actually don't know the collective name for a group of
It's
pond
not
turtles.
a murder.
It's not a murder. Maybe a flotilla or a raft.
A raft? A group of pond turtles is called a bale. And we have bales and bales of California's only native freshwater turtle here today.
I'm looking right now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pond turtles just on one oak branch on the side of the pond.
Of more than a dozen ponds scattered across the preserve. This pond hosts one of the biggest populations of western pond turtles in the state. But they're not the only ones using it.
It's a great spot for pond turtle as well as many, many other wildlife species. California red-legged frog, and many, many different birds. I see ruddy duck out here. I see coots. In all the years I've been coming here, have just seen amazing things at this spot. It's one of my favorite places on the district, on Midpen land.
As beautiful as this landscape is, it's also full of threats. Mountain lions, bobcats, and coyotes are just some of the predators that hunt pond turtles, so they scurry for safety at the slightest sign of danger. I can understand why they're so skittish if everything likes to eat them.
There aren't that many good basking opportunities that are, not right on the shore. Mm-hmm. And that's why we see them piled on top of each other like that.
Well, Bay Area real estate.
Yeah. This is just like the best possible western pond turtle habitat that you could ask for. You've got, this massive water body with, beautiful exposed slopes. We're south-facing slopes and huge open rolling grasslands all around. And that's precisely what this species needs.
We tend to think of the ponds as critical habitat, but these hills are just as important.
Yeah, and the pond turtles can move several miles away from the pond site to find a nesting ground.
How long does that take?
Probably quite a while.
These hills have been ranched for decades, and this pond was originally built for cattle. Over time, it's become such an important water body that Midpen is actively working to preserve and enhance it. Using Measure AA funds to build a spillway for overflow stormwater to escape and not cause a blowout of the earthen berm. Midpen's conservation grazing program continues the long legacy of agriculture on the peninsula. And not far from here, in the Upper La Honda Creek Preserve, is a piece of that history and a home for more wildlife.
The La Honda White Barn's actually over 160 years old, and it was an operating barn until the 1970s.
Wow. Well, I love the renovation work that you've done. It still retains its old character, but there's some new features too, like the window.
Yeah. So this is a really great feature for members of the public that want to come out here and take a peek inside, see what the interior of the barn looked like, and then also quietly and respectfully look to see if we have any bats using the barn.
Let me take a look. What can we see in here? Oh, wow.
Window into the past and into the mysterious world of bats all at the same time.
Bats play an important role in the environment, and there are 8 native species on the peninsula, some with big ears, like the Townsend's big-eared bat, and others with their own unique traits.
Seeing them up close and seeing the personality that they have, something that not a lot of people get to experience, they are just endlessly fascinating.
Measure AA funds were used to preserve this barn and make it safe for the public, and to provide habitat for bats, including the addition of 6 multi-chambered bat boxes hanging high above.
These you can see, we've got three chambers.
Yes.
And you gotta shine a light up there to actually get a look. And right now, I'm not sure if anybody's actually using them at the moment, but just earlier today, we saw a bat inside of this barn, actually between the corrugated metal roof and these beams that are running across the roof.
Since the renovation, bats haven't re-established themselves yet, but the stage is set and ready for their return.
Our hope is over time the bats will start to get used to them and use them, and one day this will be full of guano and those will be full of bats.
The final species on our peninsula safari lives on the coastal plains. It's very rare and incredibly striking. The San Francisco garter snake.
This is so exciting, Elliot.
So this is truly one of the bigger females that we've ever seen out here, and the females are larger than the males. So as a result, this is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen, actually.
San Francisco garter snakes are distinguished by their unique blue stripe. And native to the San Francisco Peninsula, they're found nowhere else in the world.
Elliot, I've been trying to see a San Francisco garter snake in the wild for years. And so it's just so thrilling to see one. They're really incredible.
I'd say probably the most beautiful snake we got around here. And yeah, a tricky snake to see. I think it's a really important species to protect because not only is it truly one of the most beautiful snakes anywhere, but I think it's a really cool story that it's this species that's so tied to the edges of this really urban area. And she's gonna be 696 millimeters, 165 grams.
Midpen is partnering with the United States Geological Survey to study the population of San Francisco garter snakes here. What they learn will help guide their management of these coastal lands.
Oh, he's rattling his tail. Around here, this is called the Santa Cruz garter snakes. Nobody there?
Let's see if we see anybody under here.
Nobody home. Oh, I thought that was gonna have one. There's a ringneck snake.
All right.
Not quite what we're going for, but a really beautiful snake.
The assemblage of species we found so far is thrilling, and we have one final board to check for the day.
Oh, double boas and a racer. Yep. Nice. Cool. Well, we're really racking up all the different species.
Wow. We're seeing everything today, Elliot. This is incredible. What do we have here?
We got 3 snakes that all superficially look similar. They're kind of unicolor brown, but these 2 are rubber boas. And at first I thought it might be a mating pair, but it's actually 2 males. And this guy is a racer. He's a little bit more aggravated than they are, just defensive because he was napping under this cover board here and we woke him up.
Sorry.
So he actually keeps biting himself.
He's biting you.
Yeah, pretty, kind of just like a little pinch. It's
Okay.
not,
Kind of bitey.
yeah.
Each of the different species we found today have slightly different needs, and knowing that each are able to meet those needs is a good sign for Midpen lands.
The goal is a healthy ecosystem, that all of the parts are working together. So we're not just stewarding for the habitat or the wildlife, but the water that is clean water that feeds into areas where people grow food. It really just, everything is connected here.
When we come back, an ancient mountain trail is renewed, and Measure AA 10 years on.
OpenRoad is made possible by the generous support of our underwriters, dedicated to protecting our natural and historical treasures in the Bay Area and beyond. Additional support is provided by these institutions, also caring for our special environmental and cultural legacies and making them accessible to each and every one of us, now and for all time.